Minister of Agriculture, Forestry and Fisheries, as well as the Deputy Minister as well, and that of course being General Bheki Cele. Mpho, a very good morning to you and your guests.
Very good morning to you as well, Lian, and thank you very, very much for linking to us down here in KwaZulu-Natal. We're coming to you live from Charlestown. This is Charlestown, just outside Volksrust, that is on the border of Mpumalanga and KwaZulu-Natal. The Free State province is also not very far from here. What are we doing? Umnoto usemhlabathini, masibuyele emasimini. That is the launch of the Food Security Month by the Department of Agriculture, Forestry and Fisheries. And joining me here today is the Minister himself, and he's also joined by the Provincial Premier of KwaZulu-Natal, Senzo Mchunu. Also with us is the Deputy Minister in the Department, Cele, and also the MEC, Xaba, who is Fundazwe Sase KwaZulu-Natal. Gentlemen, let me welcome you to this special broadcast. Minister, we're talking the launch of Food Security Month. Perhaps what you would like to do with us is just to give us a background of how serious is this challenge of food security in South Africa, and just give, you know, those examples that would really resonate with an ordinary person down there who may feel like, well, food security is really none of my business.
It is really serious, as we have shown through the studies, that about 15% of our people are food insecure, meaning that they go to bed without knowing where their next meal will come from. It is due to a number of reasons, including the impact of climate change, but more the fact that rural people are no longer involved in agriculture. Land is lying unused. And I think as government, as we made today, we want to say everybody has to be involved in one form or another in food production.
And like I said, what are the typical examples that you can point to which says that we are living in an insecure world or in food insecure environment?
The fact that many people go to better food is an example, because studies show that most of our people are price takers from stores, because they rely upon buying what they consume when they could be able to use their land and using government programs to assist them to make sure that they can produce their food, and those that are in the commercial farming should be able to produce more, but they won't be the answer to each and everybody who is food insecure. So we need to make sure that national government, provincial government, local government, traditional leaders put their shoulders behind the wheel and make sure that we can be able to ignite a new sense of believing that be you young, be you old, you have a role to play. Government must find you tilling your own area so that they can be able to assist you when they should and where they can.
Premier, in KwaZulu-Natal, it is said that farms which have been acquired through land reform program generally indicate that they do not perform very well due to various reasons. What are these?
Yeah, no, it is true that over a period, when we sat and analyzed and did an assessment in terms of land that has been returned to people and productivity and returns of the money that has been invested by government, there was no joy. A lot of money has been invested, very little. In some cases, people get land back, and what they do, they then fight over a house or equipment, and nothing gets produced. In some cases, the people who run that farm on behalf of the people who are the claimants will then go to town, leave everything to rot. In some cases, I mean, there are different problems that our people experience. We then have sought to address these questions on our own by establishing some agencies that would bring sense to people, organize them, so that they get to know that this is a serious matter of getting land back, and you must be there, you must be trained, you must work on the land so that you are productive. So far, there's light at the end of the tunnel, but still, there's still backlog in terms of what we need to cover with regard to land that has been returned but has been lying unused. We're not happy at all.
Okay, let me just remind our viewers there at home that we're coming to you live from the Amajuba berries farm right here in Charlestown, in the province of KwaZulu-Natal. And the viewers at home, you can actually participate in the program by checking the hashtag TNA BizBrief, hashtag TNA BizBrief. In that way, you will be able to participate in today's proceedings, in as much as we have our own guests here, farmers and farm operators, farm owners, and all other people who are involved in the agricultural sector. Ndosi, 15 months into office, have the targets been met which you had set yourselves as a department?
No, I guess it would be presumptuous to say the target has been met. Actually, they are very huge targets. As Mr. Williams was giving figures here, that 14.7 million people, which makes 15 million people, go to bed without food in the Republic of South Africa. If you say, I guess one target of this department is to make sure that that number is reversed in a big way and quickly. The target actually is set by the State of the Nation, as the President instructed this department to do 3 things. Mpho. Go create food security. By the way, food security goes with food safety, not just food security, food safety, which means the food you produce must be edible and healthy, and with nutrition. Secondly, create jobs. The jobs that are demanded from us are million jobs in next 14 years. Yes. The third one is to contribute to the GDP, the better figure than what we have contributed so far, which is 2.7%. So if you ask if we have reached the targets, surely, I must admit, we are far away from those targets, but we have started. We have started in a way that the government is putting some money in assisting especially small farmers that they produce for eating, for food. Because big farmers, yes, they produce for you and me to eat, but they're also looking more on the profit side. Yes. And then the small farmers then must produce for making sure that we all eat. So that's the area we're trying to push and contribute. Hence the monies that we put, like CASP, hence the money is Federal Tala that we're putting there, and other institutions pushing. Have we started? Yes. Have we reached the target? No. It's a long walk to the target.
Okay, thank you very much, dear. Let me see the food security interventions in this province. Just share with us what you're doing as a department.
Well, let's start by saying that the National Development Plan says we must find 1 million jobs by 2030 in the agricultural sector. And the new growth path says we must create 300,000 new smallholder farmers in the whole country. And we must create rural enterprises in order to build our rural economy. In other words, placing agriculture at the center of economic development, so that we can then use it to improve the living standards of our people. And it's therefore critical that we must intervene decisively in the issue of agriculture. And at the center of it, of course, is food security, to address the food insecurity that the minister has spoken about. We have, as a result, increased our mechanization program within the department, because gone are those days where people use cattle, to cultivate the land. We have increased the number of our extension officers so that they are there in each and every ward to advise our people on the ground as to how to go about it. And we are also increasing the number of our animal doctors or animal specialists, so that they are there on the ground to assist our farmers who are in the livestock development and to really develop their cattle, especially like as it is now, where we are faced with this drought situation. These are interventions that as a department we are doing, and we have actually identified communal land, building communal estates, consolidating those mamas, those gogos, those babas who have for years been cultivating land but have been in the periphery of the agricultural sector, consolidating them, forming them into co-ops, and then providing sustained support to those, so that you empower them. And we are saying at the center of our own program is farmer development, so that we move away from a situation where that as soon as government pulls out, the whole thing collapses. It must be sustainable. That's our approach we've actually adopted as a department. Okay,
perhaps before I come back to Minister, let me just go to Mchunu. The total arable land that you have in KwaZulu-Natal is 1,572,324 hectares, of which 315,000 hectares of communal arable land are underutilized, which therefore means that the agricultural potential in the province is very high. However, the current production is below its potential.
That is very true. Yes, we want land. Yes, we are appreciative of the fact that the President promulgated an act of Parliament that extends the time for claims up to 2018. We are appreciative of that. Yes, it is true that our people were deprived of land 1913, 1936 and other laws. But it is also very true that there is land under Amakosi, communal land that MSC Xaba is talking about. And by and large, that land is lying fallow. I was saying earlier on, now we pointed it in but there isn't much that we're doing. There are many things that that affect us, that count on that. One is that the weather has gone adverse. Two, people are poorer to afford new methods and equipment to till the land and cultivate the land profitably. But also people have moved to towns and cities, and the value of land and productivity of land is depreciated in their minds. Now, we are on a campaign, a very strong campaign to say, let's go back to land. Of course, it's not about being rich. It's about appreciating the value of the land that you have and actually energetically using your time plowing and planting and producing food for your family, and it is possible. We have proved it by and large, but we need to make inputs, and we now have decided on what is called communal estates, where you go and open up a number of hectares under Inkosi. You organize people into co-ops, you fence it, you put irrigation, you train them, and then they produce land throughout, they produce food, especially crops, throughout the year. And forget about complaining. I mean, you travel from a rural area to Checkers or to Pick and Pay for a long time, spending lots and lots of money just to buy a box of tomatoes. And when you get to Pick and Pay, they don't have land, they just have shelves. But you all congregate to them and you buy from them, and they don't plow anywhere. And it doesn't make sense. It is Pick and Pay and Checkers and Spar that must buy food from us, not us buying from them. We must sell to them. They're a market. That is what we want to turn around.
Okay. Thank you very much, Premier. I wanted to take a quick break. However, when we return, let's look at how, Minister, you are assisting the black farmer to make sure that indeed that Pick and Pay and Spar and Checkers, which the Premier is talking about, is supplied by those farmers. For now, we're going to take a quick break. Please don't go away. We'll return shortly.